Hi, thanks for joining me here today. I'm so excited that you came to watch this video where I'm going to talk to you about the top 7 suggestions that I have for starting keto and making keto work for you in the beginning. Hopefully to help you avoid some of the mistakes that many of us have made in our ketogenic lifestyle journeys. So if for any reason you do not know who I am, you found my channel, so that's exciting. My name is Jessica Ty, and I am a nutritional therapy practitioner. I am also a holistic practitioner, a wellness coach, and the host of the Keto Lifestyle Podcast. So you can find that podcast anywhere that you listen to podcasts, and I'd be happy for you to join me as well. I record a new episode on there every week. So let's get to the list that I have. So I made a few little notes so I'll remember which ones to tell you. So number one for starting the ketogenic lifestyle and making this work, like actually making this work for you, my number one suggestion is to read, listen, watch everything that you can to learn more about the ketogenic lifestyle. I think the more you know about it, the more educated you are about it, the better you're going to be able to succeed in this lifestyle for yourself. What works for me may not be exactly what works for you. So if you know how it is that this lifestyle is working, if you know what ketogenic actually is, and you understand how that's working in your body through reading others' expert books out there, there's other podcasters out there, there's other YouTube channels that you can watch that give some great advice. I have a few favorites of my own that I would highly recommend that you go and follow. Dr. Ken Berry has got to be one of the best ones out there. He resonates so well with so many people. Ken is a personal friend of mine and his wife Nisha, so can't recommend them enough. Of course, Jimmy Moore is another amazing one. He's got several podcasts that you can watch, some ketogenic podcasts as well as low carb, high fat. Live and La Vida Low Carb is a very popular, I believe the longest running health and wellness podcast that there is. So he would be another great one to follow. Maria Emmerich, another personal friend. She is amazing. Many cookbooks that are a great way to get started. So if you're starting out with this ketogenic diet, this ketogenic lifestyle, you're trying to figure out how to make it work for you, those are definitely some of the tips that I would offer you to make sure you have just got yourself surrounded with podcasts, you're learning the information, you're reading some great books out there, you're following some of the experts in the ketogenic space, and go on and follow some Instagram channels, right? So get out there, follow some of these keto, just, you can look up keto as a hashtag on Instagram. Find some of the people that are really putting some great information out there. There's lots of them. You can follow me personally. I am at That Keto Blonde on Instagram. Facebook is another great place. Join some Facebook groups. Get into a Keto for Beginners Facebook group, or however you want to do that. This is just great for accountability, guys, and kind of helps bolster what you're doing and helps you get some great education behind what you're doing. So highly recommend that you do that. So my number 2 tip is to know that this is a lifestyle. This is not a diet, okay? So when we talk about diet, diet is literally just talking about what you eat, right? It's the food that you bring into your body. It's what you use to nourish your body. So, but unfortunately, in America, at least, we tend to view diet as something that means you are going to be restricting and you can only have this and it's only going to be for this period of time. And once you get past this period of time, the diet's over and you can go back to the regular way you were eating. And I'm here to tell you that the ketogenic lifestyle is exactly that, guys. It's a lifestyle. I did not name my podcast that by accident. I did it very much on purpose. because I am very much behind the movement of making that the verbiage that we're using when we're talking about ketogenic and the way that we're eating. So it is a lifestyle. So knowing that up front and really kind of getting that into your brain can be so helpful in your journey through this lifestyle. Knowing that this is not a diet and you only have to eat like this for a certain amount of time and then you're going to go back to the way things were before. Knowing that this is very sustainable, and we have been eating as people this way since the introduction to this earth, right? So this is not new. This isn't even something that was invented in the 1920s. Many of you maybe have heard that the ketogenic diet came about in the 1920s as a way to treat epilepsy, specifically epilepsy in children. That is correct. The term ketogenic was coined then, but our bodies have been ketogenic since the beginning of time. That is our body's preferred fuel source. That is how we are made to run. Our bodies are brilliantly engineered to run on ketones. And that is why this lifestyle works so well for so many of us. It's why we see so many of the awesome results that we get, like the brain fog going away. You know, we can think clear, and it's just amazing. Our memories start working so good. Improved mood, improved energy, improved sleep. Weight loss, of course, is a very popular side effect of going ketogenic, but weight loss really is a side effect because all of these other improved health markers are really the big deal. So just make sure you're looking at this from day one as a lifestyle, okay? That was number 2. So number 3, I would say that will help make the keto lifestyle work for you, especially in the beginning, is to eat as much fat as you want. Now, I know that can be controversial. There are some experts out there in the ketogenic space that do not 100% agree with that. And I would say that I believe that's not the case forever, but I do believe that when you are starting out this way of eating and this lifestyle, in the beginning, you really do need to have plenty of fats in your diet, especially if you're coming off of the standard American diet. We're cutting out so much sugar and carbs and grains and things that we used to fill our bodies with. And maybe if you're like me, you're coming off of this way of eating and you maybe ate 5, 6 or more times a day. I called myself a grazer. I was very proud of that. I thought that was the best way to eat, and I thought that was the healthiest way to eat. So when I started the ketogenic diet, I really needed to make sure that I was getting lots of fats in my diet and that I was very satiated so that I wasn't missing the fact that I wasn't eating all the time. So definitely recommend get lots of healthy fats in there, guys, okay? So where are your healthy fats coming from? They're going to be coming from things like organic coconut oil. They're going to come from things like organic cold-pressed avocado oil, olive oil. They're going to come from grass-fed animals. So grass-fed beef tallow and pork lard, pasture-raised pork. They're going to come from foods like avocado and like fatty cuts of protein. That's where you're going to be getting all your healthy fats from. Grass-fed butter, from ghee, organic and grass-fed ghee. You're just going to explore all this beautiful world of fats that maybe for years you've been cutting yourself off from. So this is going to be very liberating for you and you're going to love it. So just eat lots of fats in the beginning. Now, once you really get going on the ketogenic diet, I would say 3 to 4 months into your lifestyle, your new lifestyle, you can start adjusting that. But in the beginning, it's so helpful for satiation. It's so helpful for you making the transition. It's so helpful for ketone production. You really need to give your body all of the fuel that it's looking for. You don't want to be stuck in that in between where you were a carb burner, a sugar burner. Now you're transitioning to being a fat burner, but your body doesn't have enough of the new fuel source. You don't want to be stuck there. That's a bad place to be stuck, and it makes working for you much more difficult. So you definitely want to make sure you're getting in lots of fats in the beginning, okay? So don't worry about counting calories. Don't worry about thinking about any of that stuff. Just make sure you are getting in lots of fats. Okay, number 4, don't switch up your entire diet. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is if you come from an Italian family and you're used to eating spaghetti and meatballs and garlic bread and salads, and that's what you guys make, that's what you're used to eating, you eat this. Or maybe you're coming from maybe your heritage is Mexican and you guys eat a lot of traditional Mexican dishes, and that's the kind of food that you like. Or maybe you're just a typical meat and potatoes type, good old American meal. Don't try to start a whole new way of eating while you're starting this ketogenic lifestyle, guys. Keto can be anything that you're eating, right? So there's no keto diet or keto foods that you need to now start to follow. You can take all of those things that you're used to eating and turn them into a ketogenic meal by keeping the carbs low, the protein moderate, and the fat high. So how do you do that? Let's take the Italian example again. So let's say that you are an Italian family and you guys just love meatballs and lasagna and pastas and all of those wonderful things. Well, did you know that there are so many vegetables that you can use as your main pasta dishes now? And they're amazing. And it's not even like you're swapping the real thing for some imposter because now you're having these vegetables as pasta. They are so much tastier and they are the real food, guys. This is what we would have been eating prior to us being able to manufacture and refine all of these grains, right, that we make everything out of now. So we would have been eating these vegetables. So let's look at things like zucchini. Zucchini is an excellent noodle. You can spiralize zucchini. I like to leave the skin on my zucchini. Some people peel it. You can spiralize that. You can use that in antipasta dishes. You can use that as spaghetti in place of like spaghetti. You can use it in so many different things. One of my other favorites is spaghetti squash. So you can bake spaghetti squash. I have a video on this channel that you can look at how to prepare spaghetti squash, because it can be, some people find it intimidating and tricky, but it's so easy, I promise you. And it tastes so much better than the pastas that we are used to eating. So you can use spaghetti squash. You can make the most amazing shrimp like linguine dish using spaghetti squash as the noodles. So good. So you can do things like that. I love to make an eggplant parmesan or an eggplant lasagna. Just so tasty, so much more filling, and in a good way than the traditional lasagna that we make. So you can just switch it up. There's so many recipes out there. This is why it's so good to have recipe books and people that you're following and on Instagram, things like that, because they're going to be posting a lot of these types of recipes, and you're going to be turned on to so many new ways of creating some of your favorite dishes. So that's my tip number 4, is just stick with some of the favorite things that you like. Just learn what the swaps are and switch those out. So you're still getting the same flavors that you're used to, but you're just learning the keto swaps for some of your favorite foods. Okay, number 5, just plan to stay the course. Okay, this kind of goes along with my tip of this is not a diet, this is a lifestyle. I know in the beginning it can be a little bit tough. You're kind of learning this whole new way of doing things, and your body's going through a lot of transitions to go from a sugar burner to a fat burner. There are a lot of enzymatic processes in your body that have to change, because most of us, though we were born fat burners, we pretty quickly become sugar burners or carb burners. I mean, most of us are carb burners as babies even. I mean, once we are done with our with hopefully being breastfed and getting that amazing nutrition, which is ketogenic meal, by the way, once we go from that into being infants that are being fed food. Like I think about the kinds of things that I fed my kids, and it was so carb laden, like the little cereal puffs and Cheerios and noodles and crackers and oh my gosh, like that's all they ate. I mean, that's not all they ate. They ate a lot of fruit. There's a bunch of carbs too. And, I try to get veggies in them, but let's face it, you start feeding kids all this, these processed carbohydrates. What kid wants to eat a carrot or a broccoli? Not very many, because, we immediately get turned on to these carbs. So most of us have been carb burners for the majority of our lives, and we have to redevelop these enzymatic processes in our bodies to be able for us to efficiently burn the ketones as fuel again. So learning to do that takes a little bit of time. So just remember that, and just remember to stay the course. In the beginning, the first few weeks especially, sometimes it can be hard. You're battling a lot of cravings. You may be battling a little bit of the keto flu, which I'll address here in a minute with one of my other tips. But you may be kind of battling some of those things, maybe some digestive distress as your body is learning to digest these new foods. Carbohydrates are primarily broken down in our mouths, so that it's very easy to break down carbohydrates, and breaking down fats and protein can be a little bit more work for our system. So it takes a little bit more to burn those things and to process those things. So we need to give ourselves a little bit of time, give our system a little bit of time to be able to get into the proper have the proper processes there to be able to burn this. So stay the course. Know that after the first few weeks, it gets much easier. And I typically tell my clients that I think 3 to 4 months, once you hit the 3 to 4 month mark, you're usually pretty golden. I recommend that people stay really pretty strict on their macros in the beginning stages. So for me, I typically recommend people stay at 20 or total less carbs until you are certain that you are keto adapted, and you've kind of gone through that first 3 to 4 months. And once you've gotten through that, then I think it's okay to start, you can start lessening up on that a little bit. I start adding in lots and lots of green veggies with my clients, and we start counting net carbs versus total, but we'll get into that in another video. But just stay the course, guys. It's worth it, I promise. Okay, so my 6th, I think I'm on number 6. Boy, I hope I didn't miss one there. Number 6, stay hydrated and take in plenty of salt. Now, this is huge, and this goes back to what I was just talking about when I said we'll address the keto flu and how that can be kind of a tough thing in the beginning for some people. So the keto flu is where you can start, you can have headaches, you can feel, you can get a lot of muscle cramps, you can just not feel good. I mean, overall, they call it the keto flu because it's kind of reminiscent of having the flu, and just kind of that achy body, and maybe you're really tired and things just aren't going real well in the beginning. Not everybody experiences this, but if you are, it's a sign that you are electrolyte deficient, which is not uncommon. We lose a lot of water when we go keto. So, we're as carb burners and having lots of carbs, all of those carbohydrate molecules are encased in water. When we get rid of all of this extra carbohydrate and glycogen stores, our body dumps a lot of water, through our kidneys. We actually get we have less insulin production. We actually get signals without going into all this, but trust me, you're going to lose a lot of water, right? So it's very, very important to stay hydrated and make sure that you're replenishing water and you're staying hydrated throughout the day. So don't drink all of your water in one sitting. It's important to space that out throughout the day and not drink a lot of water with your meals. So drink water throughout the day. Don't drink a lot of water with your meals, and then pick it back up, after mealtime. So adding salt to your water is an option. Some people like to do it that way. Personally, for me, I like to just take a pinch of pink Himalayan sea salt, or my personal favorite is Redmond's real salt. It's actually mined out of Utah. Is to take a pinch of that and just stick it on my tongue or under my tongue. Do that a few times a day, and you're really going to help to kind of stave away any of that keto flu and those electrolyte deficiencies that some people talk about and you may experience yourself. So try that. That should help you a lot. And my number 7 and the last tip for this video is to go into your kitchen, guys, clean out your pantry, clean out your refrigerator, get all the sugar out, gone. Don't have it in to bake with anymore. Don't have products in your pantry that have sugar. Get the sugary soft drinks and juices out of your refrigerator. Just set yourself up for success, right? This is a lifestyle. You're going to stick to this. This is a new way that you are going to eat. You're going to start doing this for yourself, for your family. So do yourself a favor. Make it easier for yourself. Don't leave those temptations in your refrigerator. Don't leave those temptations in your pantry. Get them out. So you can go clean all this stuff out of your kitchen. Take some of these cookbooks that I've recommended that you get in the beginning, some of these sites that you're following and these people that you're following. Pick some of those favorite recipes that you've seen on their sites that you're excited to try and make yourself a new grocery list. Go to the store, stock up on the things that are going to serve you in your new lifestyle and help keep you on course, okay? So that's my 7 tips for getting keto, staying keto. Just stay the course, guys. I hope this helps you, and tune in for some of my other videos next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.